Okay, guys. Now, I will have in mind that we have just 30 minutes left. I will very quickly tell you, give you ideas what it was done before. So some of the ideas so we already give you a lot of ideas, how you could think about your photography and how it's become a concept, not just a copy of, not just a poses of beautiful models.
It's not just a record of document. That's it. I take a picture.
Yeah. Okay. There were. So my attitude to photography, it's not only like Carla keeps saying to you, it's like representation of the reality and talk with reality. It's dialogue with reality. In my case, I also love to take a garment, shoot a garment, and see what I see. So for me, it's another eyes, another way of seeing what I created. And this is a couple of examples what was done by students in the past. So for example, I want to show you a shoot. Students just created some samples, and I want to tell you a story about this shooting in particular. So student created this embroidery, and student actually want to destroy that embroidery. She was thinking that is really a bad example. She does not like it at all. She was not even going not to include this in her portfolio. I took this image and I brought this to students and I tell them, guys, can we shoot it? Can we do something? How we can shoot it? You see, this is image on the net. You can see still the pin over there. Can you see the pin? Yeah. One of the photography girls was wearing that white top. And we just pin it at the back and we shoot this image. A story continues. This image was selected for the exhibition. And I will tell you more what happened with that image later. So as you can see, there are some samples. So when you will see when you will do a shooting, guys, you will see this is like middle of the term. So please remember that the shooting which we are talking about, it's happened. If you are going back to your days of the timetable, shooting happened actually here immediately after holidays. So maybe not your tours will be ready to the best of the possible. Your tour submission is over there, you see, quite a few weeks after. But you still have to shoot. So have in mind that you can shoot some elements of your garments, some samples which you created, some accessories. So that is also shootable objects. Okay? Look at that. This girl was working on the cloth, well, not 3D printing. She actually later on, she 3D printed this, but at this stage, it still was made from this material plaster.
Did you take that photograph?
No,
I love the photograph.
Look at the position of the model. Yeah, obviously samples of textiles could be shooted in this way, very classical, but the light would make it very different. I love this beautiful image.
You did the photograph.
Yeah, we did the photograph. We play with the images. We play with the position. We play with light.
What does that photograph tell you? Because it's such a beautiful image, and I love the idea.
Look at this graphic. It's a graphic art in itself.
And also collaboration.
Yeah.
So something like it makes me think about.
And you can see it is just toile fabric. It's not the final laser cut example. It was cut probably by a student with scissors.
Beautiful.
Look how light play in those lines. Yeah, so that is the image of that embroidery which I told you previously. And this is a shoot which went to exhibition.
Is it what you had in mind when you're thinking about your photographs for your
Yeah, you need to collect some inspiration from like now and all the time. And close shoot of the textures, if you have very rich textures, is another way how you can shoot your samples. Look at this sample.
Look at that, it's so fantastic.
Yeah, look at this sample.
That has, it is a bit painterly, isn't it? It looks like an oil painting.
Absolutely.
It has that very much Baroque. That's what I was thinking about, because of the contrast.
Yeah.
Baroque.
Yeah, and I also like the shimmer of the fabric.
Yeah.
Good accent from the beading. And this is just a sample. Another sample for you. And then we had a disaster. We were trying to shoot a book. We were shooting this book as in very, very different ways. We just cannot this shoot wasn't selected for exhibition. And why it is disaster? Because the collection later on, which was created, was one of the best on the year. So if this would get into the exhibition, we could show collection as well, but we couldn't because the image wasn't selected.
Oh.
Yeah, there was image like this. This actually my sketch from the times when I was like you. This is
student.
Yeah, when I was a design student, this is my graphic.
That's beautiful.
Of the collection. So this is a very, very famous story.
Is it collage or is it drawing or is it?
It is painting. Yeah. Yeah, you can use mannequins. You can use props around mannequins. You can shoot samples like this. Look at that. It's actually become now not just 3D experiment. It's become wings of angel. And I love this talking dress. Dress which smile. That is actually example from Dior exhibition, how Dior show his toiles. And that is a gallery where we had exhibition. And because exhibition was in art gallery, the shoots were exhibited as photography in its own rights.
Exactly. It becomes, yeah.
It's become a photography art pieces. So it's kind of like transitioned from the fashion into the art.
Photography, the photography.
Yeah. We had a lot of public on the exhibition. And you cannot imagine.
Winner.
This shoot, that embroidery, which students considered the most unsuccessful and wanted to get rid, actually was selected by, there was 6 curators, like 3 artists, and they were voting which one is the best shoot. They selected this as the winner of the exhibition. And these guys should gives you a hint. Don't discard anything which you create. Keep it.
Yeah.
Because somebody can
experiment with a photograph.
Yeah. Somebody can see a beauty which you yet not see there. So keep everything, and actually shoot everything what you create. Now we also printed these images on t-shirts. This is how these t-shirts were exhibited in BCU. Also, please remember, you also have to produce lookbooks. And this is examples how one of the previous students created her lookbooks, graphic art, address. Look at that.
It looks amazing.
That is a page from portfolio. So her inspiration was blurred images, and she recreated the structure, and that shoot which support her development. So all the shooting you will do will go to your portfolio as well as an exhibition. Now, if you have a piece which is beauty in itself, you can shoot it like that. Like if, you know, like all of these toiles could be taken on the, like you can see it is on the cube. You don't even need a model. You don't even need a mannequin. If it could stand. This is a piece from my master's study. So when I was doing master's, this is my design. Yeah, I also was doing masters at some point.
Which was the topic or the
This was Ikebana. It was visible and invisible. So here we can see invisible body. Well, we cannot see a body.
yeah.
Look at that. That is also from my collection. Look, as a piece of flower. Inspiration. My topic of inspiration was Ikebana. Ikebana is Japanese flower arrangement, and that is the shootings. And I love things like that. I absolutely love how the light play. Look at this. It's absolutely poetical pieces. Look at the fabric, exactly how.
It's like a petal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then we created, there was another experiment which I created. That is a piece I did for my PhD. So for my doctorate, it's a massive dress, which is, it's like a 6 meters long trail. Wow. Look at that.
Wow.
Okay, STEAMhouse exhibition. Back to the reality. Back from the poetical imagery into your exhibition. So we will have exhibition space like that. It's a massive space downstairs. There would be your toiles on the exhibition. Therefore, we ask you to not right now. Now you're exploring. Now you experimenting. But the final one you submit have to be beautiful enough for the exhibition. And look what students done.
I was there last year. The exhibition was outstanding, absolutely outstanding. And you go through and you see every student's work. It was just so well presented, and you can see the amount of work and how beautiful the work. So creative.
That is collage from the portfolio. So somebody was holding portfolio like that, and the model was taken shoot behind. So you don't even need the massive images, massive spaces. Yeah, look at this. Accessories, yeah, they're colorful, but toile is still toile. Look at this black. So it's not necessarily black and white, but it could be black and white. That is also toile of the bags. Last year we had, okay, this is only the installs exhibition. On the background, you can see that we had printed photography in A0 size. So it is like very big size. And also there are close review which you're doing right now will be exhibited on the screens like that. And that is a photography of last year.
And that's kind of Greek.
Very Greek. It is absolutely. It was selected by photographer.
Mythology.
Yeah.
Talking about the Greeks, the ancient Greeks.
Oops. Do you know what is her name? Artist in residence? She was doing. What's her name? Artist in residence. Hannah. Hannah. Do you know Hannah, guys? This is her collection.
All of it.
No. That is collection of Hannah. There are beautiful dresses, absolutely wearable collection, absolutely wearable. That one of the pieces which I think either this was first prize or that one, I forget, probably this one. But all of them were selected for prizes. They all got prizes. Okay. Here I give you, it's kind of like going back to point which Carla already made. And this is what I want to bring you thinking back to the reality which we keep talking about, which could be different. It could be provocative, it could be poetical, it could be about materials and samples, it could be about life and your experiences. So look at this: subjects, composition, story. So in ideal photography world, you would try to bring this together. Do your best, at least do your best, where everything, look, that you kind of like become immersed into the image. You want to know more by looking at that image. And that is Jeff Wall, which we started with. Can you imagine that these three people is staged? They all staged.
They're actors. So he, in an interview as well, he talks about this photograph. He remembers that in relation to something happening in the street where who's looking at whom, etc. And he recreated the scene.
Oh,
same as that one.
Same as this one. It's the story of this shoot. He said, I was walking on the street and I just peeked into the window and I could see a cleaner. And I was thinking, oh, that is a brilliant idea for a shoot.
Yeah, it's a beautiful image and he just recreates that.
Yeah. Yeah, another really important photographer
Christopher Anderson,
who loves New York, who loves everything about New York, beauty and terrible. He loves to combine. So, for example, this shoot. Can you imagine that your model not necessarily would be like in the, as I'm saying, not necessarily in the model pose, but actually doing something or even speaking to somebody. And you kind of like accidentally took a shoot.
All that is completely prepared.
Yeah, everything completely prepared.
So the model there looks like a real man from that area, down the street, etc. So they create that. So all that is something that it was created, prepared by the photographer, obviously.
Yeah. Other social settings. You know, social settings is really important in relation to those concepts, to those social issues, which we were talking from very beginning, from last term. Remember, some of you were really inspired by the problems, and you can bring attention to the problems. So not necessarily trying to sort it, but actually bringing attention of wider public to those issues is one of the another way how you can make situation better. Okay, there are another photographer which I absolutely love. And what I love about this particular photographer is that he loves playing, like me, I love playing with light. He loves shadows and reflection. So shall we look what he do with shadows and reflections? Look at this. Okay, you will shoot not on the street, at least now, at least for this particular fashion shooting. You could shoot, you can bring a mirror and take an image in the mirror. You will not have a glass unless you bring something which has a glass.
But they can be props, right?
Yeah, the props could be brought. Yeah, absolutely. There could be a metallical surface which could reflect.
Or prepare a background. They can prepare a background with some paper, with things.
Look at this baby. A center of photography.
That's brilliant.
Or this absolutely beautiful picture. And that talk about femininity more than any pink dress could tell.
1948, think about post-war photography, post-war period, after the Second World War, the role of women.
Black and white as well. Look at this girl. She is probably shop assistant. Or these people just chatting in the cafe. And this is what one of the students done last year. He shot 2 models on the train stop. So he brought his 2 models onto the train stop, and they were kind of like posing. They could be chatting on the train stop. It still would be beautiful.
Exactly.
But idea was probably was inspired by this image.
Yeah. Or the one of Kate Moss when she's in that with the
fight.
boxing.
Yeah.
Kind of as a boxer pose, let's say.
Look about this masculinity picture. Here we can see 3 men, actually, in this picture. We can find 3 men. A token, like I also can see like
Yeah. It's like a palimpsest, this one. I mean,
yeah.
The layers of
layers. And actually, guys, that is another good point about layers. Use Photoshop. So you're shooting, it's not the final stop.
Yeah.
If you want to
be as creative as you want.
Yeah, absolutely. You could be creative. Look at this.
That's beautiful. I love that green.
This is very similar to this crime scene.
Yes, I thought the red and the green, that's right. Yes, it reminds
It's kind of like, again, accidental shoot.
And it's perfect because I love that actually the photograph, we see the model, but actually as if it was an accidental shoot in terms of there's a worker there moving something, some furniture or a mirror or something, and we see the model there. How it's been crafted so creatively, so beautifully, and the composition, everything. It's a brilliant photo, and I love the even, I mean, the palette, the green and red.
Yeah.
It's just.
So this is mannequin for you.
That's beautiful.
Okay. Just in case, if you think there are also beautiful locations around the place, around the city, which one of them, STEAMhouse itself, you actually can get a permission to shoot there. And we have a lot of beautiful rooms and spaces like this. Look, it's just almost like spaceship for you. Look at this. Obviously, Selfridge is another wall, massive wall, which gives you a lot of textures.
Can I ask you, put your hand up if you are nature photography, nature, fashion and nature, or fashion and, which is your topic? Gender.
Probably we don't have nature here, don't we?
So which are your topics?
Urban. Oh, that's that one.
Think about that. And your topic?
What? Evolution spaces. Evolution spaces. Yeah, could be anything. Could be nature. It could be urban. It could be.
I'm trying to think about it. What is your topic? Sustainable. So, for example, if you had to choose a background, a space in relation to sustainability, where would you take the photograph?
What props could be? What location?
Can they take it in another location, or it has to be?
This time it is only a studio.
All right. So what would you bring in relation to sustainability?
Like
props.
Props.
How would you create the whole shooting?
Rubbish? Yeah, could be. Honestly, don't laugh. It could be rubbish. Yeah, it could be. Like, you piece of paper.
You can, lots of paper.
But try to collect it from now on, actually.
Bin bags.
Beautiful pieces of rubbish.
And you create like book, etc. Or you can, you have to think about it in terms of what props, what things. What would the model be wearing? I mean, the one of the bubble wrap, I'm thinking about something.
Bubble wrap,
on her hair, for example, what did she have? If it's about,
as accessory.
If you want to, for example, show that in connection to sustainable materials.
And I want to bring some fast fashions, shopping bags like the diamonds.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Could,
Lots of notes, for example,
Importantly-
for her hair.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
example.
it could be,
it's like, I have read this.
yeah, cool.
Start thinking about that.
Do-
Another topic.
Do you have, I'm sorry, do you have a stylist?
What?
Do you have a stylist or you work yourself? You work yourself.
Yeah.
So you will please show all the reference to Twinks. So she will want to see that. She wants to know your concept, like a story about sustainability. Plus, she needs these ideas and references for the shooting. What?
No, I can't.
No, it's fine. It's fine. A lot of students wouldn't. This is fine. Actually, this is, guys, I want to bring your attention to the dates. So I already know who is shooting, who has a tutorial, and I already know who is shooting when. I will share with your schedule, with your slots after submission next week, after presentation you done, you forget. No, next week is not a presentation. Next week you submit your files. We quickly read through the files, we schedule your presentations. A week later, this is where you present. So not next, a week later. After that, I will share your slots with you, so you would know where you're shooting, what is your tutorial time, what is your shooting time, so you know better and you can agree that with, if you have a partner, you agree with them. If you don't, you agree with your model or if your friends who is helping you to shoot. Then we have exhibition itself days. These 2 days where we will set up those mannequins and set up close 3D images, printing photography, etc. And this is where please invite your friends and anybody you want to invite to the opening. This is where we will give prizes out.
Who is the one who is jury or something? I mean, in terms of the prizes, it's.
Yeah, we could invite you to the jury session as well. We have.
Yeah, definitely. I can. Okay, when is that going to be made?
Yeah.
Until then.
9 or wait at 5 p.m. or 6. Okay, that's usually.
Okay, I'll be part of the jury then.
Yeah.
Around model. Model.
Model sits here. This is model.
Ah. That's weird.
Honestly, it's a quick solution.
Okay.
You help each other, and you all absolutely beautiful to be shot.
Can we use the AI, not the real person?
Of course you can, but you need to shoot in the real space. And then you can put that onto the AI, whatever. So it is kind of like photoshopping afterwards. We absolutely don't mind what you create with the shoot itself. Photography people, yes, they will select, so that is slightly different. They will not, they will edit as a photographers. So they will select the best shoots there. I also, personally, I don't mind what they will do with those shots. Either they will add Photoshop or they will add AI, it doesn't matter. Image, as we talk of today, is the role of image. We have to create this aura of this feeling of the space of your concept. That is the focus of the shooting. This is what the major thinking should be. How you get there? Up to you. Okay. Any more questions?
You have the freedom to be as creative and critical.
You're semester students. Come on. You're deciding and you're doing. Yeah. Any more questions? Carla was asking about if you have a concept, particular concept, like sustainability, like danger, like spirituality or whatever, we could probably advise you on talk with you, a tutorial.
We can have discuss that, like for example, spirituality. How would I?
Yeah.
I was thinking about if my task was to take a photograph that reveals and communicates my concept, and blend with the fashion, my designs, etc. Around the idea of spirituality. And it's not in the public space, but I have to do it in the studio. What would I use? How would I take the photograph? What would be the first, who would I use as a model? What would be her posture? Another one is, would she be looking at me, at the photographer, or would I capture her in a kind of a absorbed moment as she was absorbed from, so that as she was captured in a natural way, let's say, not looking at the camera. And perhaps for spirituality, I would choose, rather than looking at the camera, spirituality kind of more interior. So looking at perhaps praying. So perhaps, I mean, my idea now would be something in poses or ways of, I mean, the way that the model would be moving or posing, let's say, within relation to spirituality, pray, or things like that. Objects, for example, perhaps, I mean, I would bring props like, you see the ones, I mean, in a Christian religion that kind of, there are some, I can't remember how they are called, etc., that you pray with some kind of a...
You mean the which you move around?
Yes, these are little bits of pearls that you just need to pray, and you have a little cross.
It's about little Buddhist.
Or Buddhism, for example. So what would they be doing? And I think, I mean, for spirituality, I wouldn't put the model looking at the camera, because that doesn't make me think about spirituality. Spirituality is generally for you are absorbed, you're in your kind of communication with God, with Buddha, whichever spirit. You're not posing for a camera. It would, I think it would kill that. Or unless you want to challenge that and make something that challenges. And it's kind of with some kind of religious object, but also challenging the idea. But perhaps we want to convey that idea of spirituality, and everything in that background, the model, the props, etc., communicate and suggest that idea of spirituality.
That was about spirituality.
Yeah, exactly. So that makes me think about.
I'm thinking about like photo, just put a photo in the forest, and there's many like mist around, and the face is covered by that fabric, or wet fabric.
It could be kind of
just wet,
and something that can covers, and perhaps she's holding something like she's holding an object.
It could be a stone. It could
like
be a flower. It could be a
fire.
Okay, so this is it for today. I hope now, yes, please.
How many photos should we?
Oh, yeah, actually, I don't have example. No, I don't have example. Usually, usually it is in your portfolio, you will put those photos in the back. And it's about 5 pages of photos. Sometimes it's three best photos. Sometimes it's like best 10. You know, it's depending how you like it as a photographer, how you like it with the light, because there are so many things goes in the shoot. And sometimes you just cannot select all of them excellent.
When you discover something, suddenly you're taking the photos and, oh wow, it's a great idea. So perhaps sometimes you discover within the shooting.
But we're not allowed to have like more than 5 in your portfolio.
It's 5 pages or one note.
Not one book for all the books.
All books.
Yeah. This is why it is difficult. So you will have, remember, your portfolio is 30 pages plus minus 2. First couple of pages is your like inspiration, theme, concept, etc. Then you show you what it is, kind of like inspiration designers, and you show something about maybe even not inspirational, but
yeah, it could be. I was thinking about, are they allowed, for example, to reference, for example, a work of art?
Yeah.
For example, a photograph could be referencing a painting, a film.
Yes,
a film shoot, for example, a character of a film.
Then
they're actually for spirituality. I'm going to be inspired by this film.
Yeah.
And then you
would be your
create a photograph or a painting, for example. Let's say, I don't know, like challenging the idea of gender. So actually this this film, for example, the Fight Club 1989, all right, and you create that aesthetics, basically. So you can create that, but you can reference a book, a famous painting like the 1700 Dutch masters, etc.
Then you have 10/15 pages of development. And this is where I'm telling everyone, guys, extremely important. You're doing pattern cutting, take a shoot of the patterns on the table. You're doing toiling, take a shoot that this is, I changed the silhouette, this is, I added sleeve, this is, so you show the development of your toiles. And it's because this is a major part of your portfolio. Then you give us few pages of the garment tech. The garment tech you submit separately, like the whole document. But in the portfolio, there are still will be a few pages of garment tech, and then you're shooting. So this is everything should be within those 30 pages. Yeah. So therefore, it is really, you cannot select, even if you usually photography students will make you about 50-100 images. And you will need to select maximum, maybe 10-15. And then in portfolios would be probably 6. Which you're allowed to submit. You're actually allowed to submit as a separate file. So this is how you can get around it as appendices. So there are a lot of ways how you can, if you cannot select really, but you love all of them, you still can submit.
It's really exciting, but
Yeah, yes.
Photograph students.
What?
Only means photograph students.
You will not meet with them. They will just come to the. Sorry. They will. Yeah. They will come here. So you will have your times. They will come to your time. And you will tell them, with your stylist or without stylist, you will tell, this is my model, this is my garments, this is image I want.
this is my concept. Create a kind of a mood board, so it's a,
Yeah.
I want my photograph to be inspired by the 17th century.
Twins actually will guide you through this mood board.
I want a bright color, very
Or opposite, I want dual colors. I want the
black
mix,
side. I want
or I want sharp, I want bright, I want that, and they will create a light for you, they will shoot it for you, and then they will send you where they will going to send you images. If you remember, we have page here. Where is our Steam? No, Steam. No. Can you see? This is where they would upload images. All of them will go there. All images from all of you. So this is why I'm telling you guys, find this group, find this page, because Steam Fashion Collaboration, hatchery lectures already there. So just to remind you, I'm sure you know, you've been there already, I hope. Just to remind you, you go into the teams, you go into this, you see purple teams. You will see as many squares, it's my teams. I have a lot of squares over there. But you should look, sorry. This one, Steam Collaboration, GRP, you see this image, this is where all of us here. So those photography will be here. Click training with Carlos lectures and all our seminars there. So you will see them. Hatchery lectures over there. This is where we not quite actively working on our poster and diploma. So this is where we should be working on really. But now you focus on your submission on next Tuesday.